You discover a new manga series and you are so excited to collect it. You start finding a couple volumes online in your local bookstore. Then you go online to find more volumes, only to find out most of the volumes are out of print. Has that ever happened to you? In this episode, I'm going to share with you my strategies on how you can find manga that is out of print while still staying within a budget. You're also going to want to stay till the end of the video as I'm going to share with you a bonus tip on how to find rare and out of print manga. Welcome to the GTP. My name is Scott and my goals help you find great experiences for yourself and your family. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's first discuss about out of print versus out of stock. Now, due to supply chain issues, there are many series that are actually not out of print, meaning the publisher has no plans to print the series, but a lot of series are actually in between prints or out of stock due to supply chain issues. For an example, one series that a lot of people are looking for right now is called Yu Yu Hakusho. It is out of stock, it is in between prints, and prices have gone through the roof for this series. But if you go online, at least to Right Stuff Anime, it does say out of stock, expecting more. And on Twitter, Viz Media has said, yes, we are going to reprint the series. So it's not out of print, it's just in between prints, and due to supply chain issues, Viz Media has shared they've had to continue to push when a new release date will be for that series. And I believe in the next couple of months, a few of the volumes were scheduled to arrive here soon, at least in the US. A great website I use when looking for series to see if it's out of print or out of stock is Right Stuff Anime. So let's go ahead and dive in and check out Right Stuff Anime to help us look for a series that I'm wondering, is it out of print or is it out of stock? Now, after I typed Higurashi in, as I'm scrolling down, you'll notice that some volumes say out of stock, expecting more, which typically means that the series, at least that volume, is currently still being printed and it's probably in between prints. You have some that say no reprint schedule, which means that the series is just completely out of print, nothing planned. It could be years, months, or it may never be printed again. And as you scroll down, this gives me an idea to see how hard is it going to be to find this series, how much is it out of print. And then you can see there are some volumes that are in stock. This could be some old copies they still have in their warehouse that's laying around, or it could be that there are a few volumes that are still being printed. That typically usually happens with the first beginning volumes of a series. So as you scroll down here, you'll see that the first couple of volumes, volume 1, 2, and 3, 2 and 3 are in stock. Volume 5 is expected to be printed again. Another interesting thing to point out here is sometimes when you pull up or you type in a volume on Right Stuff Anime, you might not see that volume completely at all on the website. As you notice here, we have 9, but no 8. Here's 7, 6, 5, but between 5 and 3, there's no 4. So that typically means not only is there no reprint scheduled, the volume just does not exist on Right Stuff Anime, and that gives us a good idea that the series is completely out of print versus out of stock, expecting more. I'm not exactly sure why they're expecting another copy of Volume 5. It could be that Yen Press is going to reprint a couple or certain volumes of Higurashi, but most likely this gives us an awareness that this series is completely out of print. Okay. So we've learned that a series is completely out of stock. The next thing we got to do is create a plan. So when we create a plan, the first thing I like to do is research how difficult is it going to be to find this series that's out of print. So what I typically do is I will look on Mercari, eBay, OfferUp, and Amazon to give an idea of how hard is it to find volumes of this series, let alone what are current prices for the series, and is that series completely out of my budget, or is it even possible to find that series in somewhat of a fair budget? For myself, when I set a budget for manga, even if it's in print or out of print, I never like to pay above retail price. Next thing we're gonna do is research on Amazon to see how hard is it gonna be to find some of these volumes, let alone how expensive would it cost. Now, typically, as I shared before, my goal is to pay MSRP or below for any manga volume, especially for out of print. I usually hit typically that MSRP, or I may go a little higher. So MSRP for Higurashi is $13. That's the retail price. As you see, the first volume we can get for $69.6. It's a little higher than retail price, but not too bad. Now the second volume we can get brand new for $13 or $4.25 for a used volume. That's not bad at all. Volume 3, $4.50, not bad. Ooh, $42.23. We might want to wait a little longer. Let's check out the next one. Now, let's not do the 78, but it looks like we can find a volume for $30. Ooh, $90, that's quite a bit. $90 again. Okay, now we're going back to $28. That's not as bad. $36 isn't bad. Another one for $90. Okay, here's volume 11. Now, if you remember, it was in stock at Rice F Anime, but we can also find it here for $9.69. And it looks like volume 12 we can get for $11.18. But then volume 13, $53. Oh, ooh, $3.64. I cannot justify that. 15's not even available, at least on Amazon. $29.84. Well, it doesn't sound as bad now after seeing one for over $300. $120. $14. That's not too bad. $57.39. So that gives you some of an idea on what it's going to look like when you're searching for the volume of how much is it going to currently cost. Which I thought it would be helpful to see what is the whole series going for on eBay. Now, as you can see here, a complete copy of Higurashi, all 27 volumes, actually sold for over $1,500 this past June 5th. Not only that, there was 50 bids for the series. So not only is it out of print, but it's highly sought after. And at least to someone, there was a value of paying $1,500 for a complete set. So as for me, that's not something that I feel is as a value. I would love to own the series, but not for the justification of $1,500. There's so much great manga out there. I feel I could get a lot more if I wanted to spend $1,500. So after doing research through looking on Amazon wishlist, looking on eBay, this was an easy pass for me to hold off and wait, and at least not anytime soon unless for some reason a beautiful deal just magically appeared. I'm not prepared to pay this much for the series. Now, $400, maybe $500. I would be questioning, maybe second guessing myself. I would hesitant. I might be willing to pay that much for 27 volumes, but I can't justify how expensive this is. So right now, I'm just gonna have my fingers crossed that Yen Press is hearing the cries for fans and that this will be a series they are willing to reprint sometime in the future. Now, I'm not saying to not go after a series that is completely out of print or extremely rare, but it is a good idea to know what you're getting yourself into. Yes, for Higurashi, I could probably get maybe 10 of the 27 volumes for retail price or below, but I know there are going to be 17 volumes that are going to be extremely hard and difficult to find. And that's, to me, is just not worth it for my budget. Now, if there are only 2 or 3 of those volumes that were hard to find, I may buy the rest and just hope within a year or even 2 that I can find those couple of volumes that are extremely rare for a decent price. But with 17 volumes extremely hard, this is a series I've had to make a hard pass, even though I'd love to own and read the series. This brings me to the GTP Law, which states, any manga that is good will not remain out of print and will eventually become available again. I truly believe that publishers are in the business of making money. And enough fans, if enough people cry out saying, hey, we'd love to see the series, hey, we'd love to give you our money for the series, I do believe even if it took 4 or 5, even 10 years, which does seem to be a long time, I do believe that a series will be reprinted again if there is a demand for it. Next, when it comes to finding series that are out of print, you need to search certain websites daily as new listings are constantly coming up available. So what I do is I look on OfferUp, I look on Mercari, I look on eBay, and I look on Amazon every day to see if a new listing is available for a series. Right now, I'm currently looking for volume 6 and volume 7 of a certain scientific railgun. So every morning, I pop up the Amazon wish list to see if any new ones come up. I click new listings for Mercari, new listings for OfferUp, as well as I'd see if there's any new auctions available on eBay just to see if someone has posted the series for MSRP, or again, I'm willing to pay a little slightly higher for those two as they've been hard to find. I found volume 6 for around $50. I found volume 7 for around $70, and that's just a little outside my price range. Now, if either of those drop to 20, I might snatch those ones up right away. So the next thing I want to share with my strategies is the power of an Amazon wishlist, which is the most helpful and the easiest when it comes to searching for out-of-print manga. Okay, so let me show you the power of the Amazon wishlist and why I believe this is one of the most helpful and easy ways to navigate when you're looking for out-of-print series. So months and months ago, I was highly recommended to check out Eternal Sabbath, and I realized and learned it's only 8 volumes. So after doing some research, I went and added all 8 volumes to an Amazon wish list that I would check daily. Now, Eternal Sabbath has a MSRP of $10.95. So for easement, let's say $11 per volume. Now there are 8 volumes total. That would mean the total cost at retail price would be $88. So I use that as a benchmark to plan how much I was willing to pay for this series in total. So as you can see here, we can get volume 1 right now just for $6. That's not bad. Volume 2 is $19.25. Volume 3 is $30. It's a little high. Volume 4 is $16.59. There's a volume 5 for $5.99. Nothing available right now for volume 6. And so on. And this helped me decide, you know, this is a series that I felt was worth pursuing and trying to get a crack at, as most of the volumes were not very expensive, let alone a couple $100s. And if there was, let's say, one volume that was a couple $100, I might still go ahead and try to purchase the rest of the series and just try to hold off hunting down for that one volume. But if we saw with the other series, there are many, many volumes that just seemed a little overwhelming trying to hunt down for how much they were going for. And there's no way that I'd ever get close to MSRP, at least in its current market for Higurashi. So now let me go ahead and show you what I did next to compare and show you how much I actually paid for Eternal Sabbath. And this took about 4 months of checking the Amazon wish list as well as Mercari, OfferUp, and eBay, and I check that every day, typically in the morning. Now I was able to get almost all the volumes actually on Amazon, except for, funny enough, I actually won volume 2 on an eBay auction just for 99 cents as no one else bid for that volume. So as you can see here, I was able to get most of the volumes below that $11. Now a couple of volumes I did pay a little more, but this 99 cents gave me about $10 more of spending room for those other volumes. So I ended up paying a total of $81.03 for the entire series, and the total retail price would have been $88. So for a series that is out of print, I felt really good that I was able to find the series below MSRP, and that was truly because of this Amazon wish list. Now, volume 8 alone, what's interesting about volume 8 is that it was always over $40. And one morning when I checked, it just so happened a Goodwill in Tucson, Arizona had the volume up for $7.95. Every day before that, it was over $40. So I snatched that up real quick, and then I was so excited that it actually shipped, and it was in very good condition. So you never know what's going to pop up. It may seem exhausting that you see the same volume for over $100. You don't pick it up, and then you see it sold for $100, and then you see another volume go for $120. You're like, oh maybe I should have picked up that one that was 100, but hold off. They do come from time to time for a price that you are willing to pay and you feel more comfortable. So I hope that's helpful. As you can see here, how I was able to pick up Eternal Sabbath. After Eternal Sabbath, the next series I started hunting down was Rurouni Kenshin Viz Big Editions. Using the same strategy with the Amazon wishlist, I was able to find all the volumes available for MSRP or slightly above or below. Now, I do need to share the caveat when it came to Volume 7 and Volume 9, I did pay well above MSRP. I'm not proud of it, I didn't like it, but after seeing Volume 9 especially sell Makari for $260, another one sold on Amazon wishlist for $120, when someone I saw posted it for just above MSRP, nowhere around 100, but over 50, I said, you know, let's go ahead and get it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna find a better deal for this series. So with that, I did pay more than I'm typically used to or I'm comfortable with, but I felt after 4 months of searching, which really isn't that much time, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna pay a little more for this. I don't know if I'm gonna get a better opportunity for a price such as this. And my bonus tip is do not lose up hope. You never know where you're gonna find that volume that you've been searching for. Almost like a pirate looking for buried treasure. You never know if you're gonna find that series at a used bookstore. When it came to Rurouni Kenshin, I actually saw another YouTuber have the series for sale on a table, and he shared his whole collection, said, hey, this series I'm actually selling. So I messaged him and he was able to give me a great deal for those last volumes I was looking for Rurouni Kenshin. I've also seen through the social media community other manga collectors willing to help each other out. One person shared, hey, I'm looking for a volume of this certain series, and another person on social media said, hey, I actually have a copy, I wasn't a fan of the series, I'll go ahead and just send it to you. It was a rare out of print manga, and the person was willing just to give it to them for free. So you never know who might be reading your comments, and someone may say like, hey, I'm willing to give it to you for a fair price. Just in the same example I had when watching another person on YouTube, I was able to message them because they said they had it for sale. Don't recommend messaging people who don't have manga for sale saying, hey, are you willing to sell some of your manga? But when it comes to collecting manga, we're all in this together. We all understand what it's like to try to find series that are hard to find. You might have a manga series in your collection that you're not actually a big fan of, and you might see someone else online say, hey, I'm looking for this series, can anyone help me out? Be that person and message them and say, hey, I'm willing to sell you the series, I have it. I wasn't a big fan of it, but I'm willing to give it to you for a fair price. Be that person. Let's be a community together that's known to being generous and helping each other when it comes to finding out of print manga. So those are my strategies and a bonus tip to help you find manga that's out of print while staying within a budget. In the comments below, would you mind sharing what is an out of print series you would love to collect for a fair price if it was available to you? And if you'd like to see more content like this and you've not done so already, would you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel? That helps others know about this thriving community that we are growing together. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.